Right, trolling.
Okay. Well, I guess I'd like to know whether you get frustrated because people would see you only as a Doctor Who in these parts of the world anyway.
No, I don't get frustrated about that, no, because the association with Doctor Who, you know, was an association with a time of my life when I was a children's hero, which was a very jolly time. It's a nice experience to be a children's hero and to be admired and adored and trusted. I was the only man in my time for 7 years to whom the dictum, "don't talk to strange men," didn't apply to. And so, by courtesy of New Zealand, I am revived, I'm fetched back from my past to be a, you know, Doctor Who again.
Do you enjoy the concept of like time travelling back to that era and to be remembered like that in New Zealand in a context?
Yeah, I mean, I'm astonished. Yeah, I don't mind people remembering me like that. It was the nicest job I ever had, really. In fact, I think it was the only success I've ever had. I've been a very successful failure for many years now. So Doctor Who has got tender memories. Yeah.
Are you like the Doctor Who that you portrayed, the eccentric time traveller?
Well, I mean, I might be considered a bit odd. My wife thinks I'm very odd. Yes, but I wouldn't be as benevolent as he was, you know, as nice, or as heroic or generous. But yes, there is a kind of random quality in me that might be a bit like the Doctor.
Who would you, or would you, you're probably biased in this answer, but of the incarnations, I mean, you sort of differed from the suit of the John Pertwee and people like that. Was that a deliberate ploy?
I don't know, you know, I don't think I really watched it when they were in it, and I certainly didn't watch it when I was in it, because it always used to go out at a time when the pubs were just opening. And I never watched it because, if I could possibly avoid it, because I was never satisfied with it. Actors don't really like watching it, because you always think if we did another take, it would be better. So I just assumed that people liked it. I left it at that. I never knew, you see, what was going on. It was very like life in that way. I never quite knew. We worked on 6 scripts at a time, so I never knew what was going on. And so if there was a sense of surprise, that was very genuine. I was genuinely surprised for 7 or 8 years. It's very like life, really. You know, you pretend you know what's going on, but we don't, really.
Did you have a favourite enemy? Did you have a favourite script?
I married one of them. Yeah, I remember I married someone in the program, yes. That was amazing. Yeah. No, I didn't know all the enemies, you know, the so-called enemies. Though I was enchanted by them all, you see, because I used to beat them all. That was nice. I used to like being threatened, you know, because I knew I was going to win at the end, even if I hadn't read the script.
So how did you take it when they thought, okay, it's time for this incarnation of Doctor Who to disappear?
They didn't. I decided on that. Because I became disenchanted with the way it was going. You know, I became very proprietorial. And I felt I was the only one who knew what it was like, how it should be done. That inevitably happens. You know, I became too possessive. And so if anyone wanted to make any changes that I didn't like, this used to upset me. And so I began to think, I'd rather go away from this. They didn't decide, I decided.
So how would you describe it? What would you put it down to, the charm of Doctor Who that has sort of obviously captured so many young kids? Everybody remembers you.
Well, because he was heroic. We all need heroes, don't we? He was a hero he was an alien and benevolent and sometimes funny, dare one say. And also there was no one like him, was there? I mean, I can't really be defining how I did it. I can't remember very well. But there was no one like him, you see. That was the main thing. And so the objectives of the character, there was no competition. So that was fresh and astonishing, and the method of travelling, you know, through time and space, to that old TARDIS over there. Great, wasn't it, yeah?
So would you time travel ahead and do another series, or if a movie came around, would you be interested in reincarnating yourself again?
Well, I mean, I try to reinvent myself every Easter. But yes, I suppose I would, you know, if it was interesting. And I'm quite shameless and capable of deceiving myself that I could be a hero again. But of course, you know, there are not many middle-aged heroes. Middle-aged happiness and middle-aged heroism is death to the ratings, especially in television, you know, where you're shamelessly kind of biased towards a kind of glamour and youthfulness, aren't you, really? I think, anyway. I don't really watch much television if I can possibly help it.
So in terms of New Zealand, like working with, have you just been working with the crew here, or have you been able to get out? And is it?
But I mean, I've been out and about a bit over the past few days. I've been storming around the waterways of Auckland. Are you asking me what I think about New Zealand?
Yeah, in a roundabout way.
Well, I think that it is so beautiful that I felt the other day that I died and gone to heaven when I looked at all that water and all that space and everything like that. I just thought it was amazingly beautiful. And the New Zealanders do seem very gentle and friendly towards me. And quite a lot of them agree with what I say, and I'm very influenced. If people agree with what I say, and if they laugh at my jokes, I'm very vulnerable. Yeah.
Okay, that's all we need. Thank you very much. It's such a sentimental favourite.
Well, that's right, yes,
thing,
that's right, yes.
It really
yes,
is.
that was another thing, you see, we never touched on, we can't touch on everything, was, of course, you know, that, that's right, there was no competition, you know, people weren't threatened by the character.
No, no.
And it was a kind of mixture of silliness and genuine heroism, you know.
Yeah. But I guess the memories of those days when I was watching you was just the randomness and the eccentricity.
Yes.
And also the concept of time travel. I mean, that really was, whoever came up with that in the first place was, you know, really got onto a niche, which has obviously worked over the years.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. You don't need a Gallifreyan time capsule or even a sonic screwdriver to shape the future.
So, Rolly, the steaming thing. Yep. Steam Rolly, right. Do you know what this shot looks like?
Yes, I saw it on the monitor there, John.
So?
That's it about there. And a little bit, if we're framed over there.
Oh, sorry, I'm on reach.
I think that's right.
Well, let me tell you something. You don't need a Gallifreyan time capsule or even a sonic screwdriver.
And a little bit more than...
That dry ice looking all right?
Well, I just want to see it shot. Can you see it there, Rolly?
No, I can't. Oh, just a
there it
whisper,
goes.
yes, there it comes.
There it goes.
Look at it. It's steaming into words.
Checking it up again.
Okay, a little less on the soft.
What is there, Ollie?
So this started off. Let me tell you this.
Yeah, let me tell you. From after what? They go...
Let me tell you something.
You don't need a Gallifreyan or even a sonic screwdriver to shoot up. And it went on, it goes to the answer that this has been seeking for centuries.
I mean, reach up to the telephone.
So what do you mean, so the second bit is quite friendly?
Yeah.
How are we looking? Fabulous.
So let's have a...
Standing by to do it.
Yeah, where did it come from? The what went on before that? Before, well, let me tell you something.
Of course I hear you say that's easy for him. He's a time boy. He's been there often enough.
Well, let me tell you something. So, Tom, you actually,
Thank you.
hang on, wait, guys, guys. You actually went and then turned round, remember?
Did I?
Yeah, you went.
What a memory you've got.
You went. He's been there often enough, and you went, bang! And then this thing comes up, and then you go, well, let me tell you something.
Right, that's right. I remember now, I remember, yeah, it's coming back.
Well, let me tell you something. You don't need a Gallifreyan time capsule or even a sonic screwdriver.
Okay, I remember now. It's coming back to me, sir. What a memory you've got, though. All this was about a quarter of an hour ago.
Sharp.
So it goes from the bang here, doesn't it?
Yes.
Bang.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Don't forget the little...
With the old joke.
All right, here we go. Standing by to rehearse, thank you.
You definitely had the hand up. Now, let me tell you something.
Did I?
Because on the other shot, you've got your hand up.
In a stern, perfectly modulated voice.
Yeah. So the first bit was stern. Well, let me tell you something. Remember that.
Here we go. Standing by. Rehearsing and action.
Well, let me tell you something. You don't need a Gallifreyan time capsule or even a sonic screwdriver to shape the future. The answer the whole universe has been seeking for centuries is at the end of a telephone line.
Cut.
We should have shot it.